here's another reason why you want to take control of what you're doing.
Everything kind of funnels into the only winning move is not to play the game.
I don't know, guys. This whole thing sounds pre-recorded.
God, who are those guys on that intro, man? Jesus, those guys, that was a year ago. We're old. We've aged.
Yeah, we have. Mostly you, though.
Thank you very much.
Jason doesn't age. Jason, you always look like you're 31 years old.
I wish I still was.
I don't know how you do it, man. I think I'm going to do the whole after show from the bar here.
I would like that.
I'll wave.
Zoom in on you. You should have used your little zoom camera, the little zoom in camera that you have that you showed me.
Well, I would use the zoom in camera, but it's funny you should mention that, Bruce. It's almost like Stream Deck or StreamYard doesn't want to work with Stream Deck, even though I've downloaded the Stream Deck app or the StreamYard app onto Stream Deck. It still doesn't work at all, and everything just blows up in our face. but yet it works on every other platform I can imagine.
Yes.
Fortunately, the StreamYard is free, isn't it, Bruce? You didn't have to spend any money for this, did you?
Oh yeah, I didn't have to spend over $800 of free money to have this this wonderful program that I can't do nothing with, and that every other podcast that I know hates this program, and now we're strapped in for at least until September before we can change platforms, or before I feel like I can let it go and let that $800 go with not paying out of my pocket. But hey, welcome to the bonus content, the next week of the weather report. I want to welcome you guys here. We got Jason from Horrible Designs, Christian, who's our producer, and Ken from Mad K Studios, he's going to start drinking some vodka. So he's switching gears, guys. He had the four roses there on the earlier show, and now he's switching to vodka. And I've got to work very early tomorrow, so I can't drink tonight.
I do too, but I
don't drink on Sundays. I don't drink on Sundays. Never on Sundays.
Yeah, I'm a functioning alcoholic. I'm not practicing anymore. I function. No, I'm actually switching over to foo-foo. So at this juncture in the evening, we're going to go with the Cosmopolitan, which I like. But I'm going to make the Cosmopolitan with blue curacao instead of triple sec. So
tell us how you're making that, since you're the mixologist there tonight.
I'll be the mixologist. And like I said, I'd be able to zoom in. And can you see me back here, way back here? I'd be able to zoom in if it wasn't for Stream Decks or StreamYard's ridiculousness. So we're going to throw a quarter cup. I'm using a big mug, so we're just going quarter cup of vodka in here. And this right here is I got this at Sam's Club because I like the color of the shape of the bottle. So it must be good. And then we're going to take our blue curacao or curacao. How do you say it? Any of you guys know how to say it?
It depends on who you are.
Carapo?
How you were raised.
I got blue pretty good, but curacao is what it sounds more French.
Caraco if you're in high school, and curacao if you're an adult.
God, in high school, I didn't know any other than Budweiser and Gilby's. So we're done a lot of that. And then I'm going to go with the lime juice, because you need the lime juice. This is, of course, Nellie and Joe's famous Key West lime juice from concentrate. And I'm going to give 4 good squirts of that. And then some cranberry juice cocktail to top it all off. A guy could do this in a mixer, but we got a show to do. And I'm a professional. And then we're going to take, let's see, we're going to need to make this special because we are in the tiki bar here. So we'll have a little.
For those of you that are listening on the audio podcast, Ken is in his tiki bar doing some mixology for us, and it's a very interesting because he's got a very nice tiki bar. I've been down there, and I'm telling you what, Ken is really a fugitive from the law. I'm sure he's in the witness protection program, and one of these days I plan to have an ice pick in the back of my head. But for right now, he's making drinks.
He says he's going to ice pick in his freaking head. Listen to this guy over here. You crack me up, fucking Californians. So here we go. Cheers to everybody. There is
Look at
my.
that.
It's even got
Look at that. A true tiki a true tiki sensation. Matches his. Hey, by the way, it matches your shirt very well.
It's called an ensemble
It's ensemble.
for you uncultured swine out there. So this is in preparation for, what is it? The Arizona Tiki Oasis at the Valley Ho Hotel at the end of April. We're going down again. I've already got my tickets to it. And it takes 2 years off of my life, but it's the end. It's the kidney dialysis years, so it's all right. So it's the Tiki Oasis fun thing we go to, and this is one of the drinks that I kind of learned down there, except they would use rum, and they'd use this much rum, and then just put an umbrella in it, and there'd be no ice.
There you go. Are there any Valley Hoes at the Valley Ho?
No, there's no hose at the Valley Ho. It's a I don't know if it's a 5-star, but it's at least a 4-star hotel.
So there's no hose at the Valley Ho.
Mm-mm.
It's a holeless Valley Ho. There's no hose at the Valley Ho.
It's a no-ho. It's a no-ho Valley Ho hotel. It's the no-tell, no-ho, no-tell hotel.
There you go. That was tough. Say that 3 times. Fast.
Natalie Wood had her was married there. So she might have been the last hoe, because if Natalie Wood, she could. The only kind of wood that doesn't float. Anyway, too soon?
Not too soon. Not too soon. Not too soon.
No. So anyway, StreamYard. So
tell us you had a whole thing going on today that we were going to have an excellent show, the show that we did last week, and that you were going to have this whole ensemble. And tell us what the hell's going on.
If any of you guys watched what I've been doing throughout the week with my new equipment and stuff like that, and I've got it working flawlessly. On OBS, it works great, streaming out to different platforms. On Restream, no problem at all. Zoom, yes. And it makes it so I can switch cameras and we can bring in other things and stuff like that without having to do a bunch of crap on my computer. You're sitting on here doing all this when you're trying to show somebody something. Oh, I don't want to do that. I just want to hit a button. Boom, here it just pops up. And I've got it, sound effects, everything. And it was working great. And I told Bruce earlier this afternoon about 2:00. I said, hey, let's jump in a half an hour early. We usually jump in a few minutes early just to make sure audio is good. I said, I got to experiment with some stuff. And everything just blew up. And it wasn't on our end, because I remember I kept going out and coming back in. When I would go out of here, I would check all the levels and all the things like that. 5 minutes later, come back in. I'm like, it just doesn't work. And stuff like this I'm using my wireless Go mics, which are absolutely bulletproof. Christian knows about Rode. I mean, Rode makes probably some of the best stuff. Rode and Shure. Yeah, exactly. And I've got this mic here, which I've had a few problems with the plug on the bottom. This is a Samsung G-Track Pro. As far as really good mics that you can buy cheap, this one right here is probably your best one for USB mic.
For clarification's sake.
Sure.
Samson. Think strong, the biblical guy.
Yeah, not Samsung. It's
not Samsung. Those are two very different companies.
Yeah, the Samsung mics are garbage. This one's really nice. And it weighs about 3.5 pounds. It's super heavy. But anyway, this one is just bulletproof. And this one even wasn't even working tonight. And it just made me crazy. So in the world of first world problems, I just wanted to we're trying to make the show more entertaining and technologically advanced.
We're going to get there.
We'll get there, and we'll get there soon.
Yes.
It's so frustrating when one program causes all of the problems, but unfortunately, Bruce has spent a bloody fortune. As far as what we look at fortunes,
we have 4 weeks. We have 4 weeks to get our act together.
Hey,
4 weeks it's over.
4 weeks before the second season starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
In Dallas.
What's that?
I'm sorry.
No.
I just dated myself with a joke.
You did. Where are you at? Where are you at, Christian? Where are you at today? I mean, look.
I'm in Hawaii. This is Hawaii.
Look at the beautiful beach you're sitting at.
Yeah, this is Hawaii. This is Oahu.
Got you.
I have a buddy there. He'll
California
go to
could use that water right now.
He'll go to He'll go to the beach. He'll take pictures and he'll send them to me. Here, check this one out. Since nobody's gonna watch this, I can do this and nobody cares. I just got to go find it quick. I was going to ask a question about the whole. How far or at what point will we go before we just say F?
Tulsi, is that Tulsi Gabbard?
And it's from Hawaii, so who knows? I guess it could be. I don't think she's in. Oops.
That's a little big bottoms for Tulsi.
Anyway, so I don't want to hurt anybody's. I don't want to cause anybody to get in any trouble if their spouse walks in. If we can find a solution and it works, and you can make a couple of bucks. Oh, has anybody checked on? Look at Patreon and see if anybody jumped on.
Oh, I will see if somebody jumped on.
Because that'd be fucking awesome. We can shout. We'll do a shout out to all the new
Yes.
Patreon people here.
Yeah, exactly. Good idea. Good. See, that's why I have a producer, because if I didn't have a producer, then all this stuff would just go on the on the bad side. So yeah, what am I going to do?
Ken,
So
I would like to a couple of things. If I'm sorry, Bruce, I don't mean to step on you, but the juices are flowing here because I got bourbon on board now. Couple of things. I'd like to have a session with you when you have time this week, some evening, because I want to talk about OBS and all that you've discovered with that.
You want to have a session with me?
Well, I want to do some foundational work first, Bruce.
I'm not
I want
cheap.
to have some.
I'm not cheap. You have to pay me to leave.
Um,
I'm fucking with you.
I know,
it's really easy, Christian. You want? There's also the that button.
So,
well, hey.
There's a couple of things I'm going to work on. I've taken OBS. This AI needs to get its freaking act together. Turn off. Thank you.
Hold on.
Hit it.
The Duchess of New Jersey is our first Patreon subscriber.
Invite her on. Invite her on.
Duchess.
Can I just one little thing? Actually, two little things. I'm working on. I don't know if all of you know this. I've talked to Ken knows it. I think Jason knows it now because we talked about it before. I have a laser engraver, a real one.
I want to get one.
Don't need one. He's got one.
But I want one.
We'll talk about the whole thing, working together, whatever. But I'm not ready to market it yet because we don't have a firm plan for how we want to do things. But I would like to, or Jason can, he's up there, do a thing. See, this is it. Yeah, this is fun. Do something special for Duchess, and she's the first one.
She's not a paying, she's a free, but she's here.
She popped our cherry.
She's here. She popped our
wow.
cherry. She popped our cherry. Exactly.
Thank goodness we're all feeling moist after that first show, because that'll help. Anyway, we should do something special for each of these occurrences.
Absolutely.
Ken, I want to talk about OBS with you one night. We'll sit down and we'll have a drink. We'll talk about how it's working, what we can do, because I think having a conversation with this and working with somebody else will make it easier. And I don't know if you remember or not. Remember the hurricane night? Ken, do you remember the hurricane night?
Which hurricane? Which hurricane night?
The night that the Reek hurricane descended upon your house in Andover.
Yes.
Gentlemen, I also am a bit of a mixologist, and there's a few drinks that I really like. Recently, it's been Manhattans because they're simple and fast.
They are good.
But at one point, and I'm trying to find the recipe. I have a hurricane recipe.
It's fantastic.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So I'm going to work on that, and if I can get myself squared away, I'm going to start planning on maybe. Oh, hey Ken.
Hey.
For Street Machines time.
Yes.
Will you have a spare room?
Yeah.
If it's just me.
Yeah. If it's just you, I've got the same spare room we had last year.
Okay.
You got to watch out, man. Ken loves to spoon. Ken loves to spoon. That's why I got my own. That's why I got my own room.
How do you think?
I've known Ken longer than you have.
How do you think he that's why his
Ken,
back
I'm
shaved.
sorry, Ken. Bruce, I'm 6'3". Ken, how tall are you?
Not 6'3".
He's shorter.
I'm
Mhm.
6'3".
I'm the runt.
Oh, sorry. Here's where I was going with this. Maybe I'll bring the Jeep up. Maybe I'll bring a brisket that I've smoked up.
Now we're talking.
Or
geez.
maybe we'll just go grill
we
a
can
bunch of
talk about
steaks because
that
you've got a
too.
really nice grill.
Yeah, I got a
Talk
nice
about all
grill.
those stuff.
Bruce is one hell of a cook too. Bruce cooked up. I don't know what it was, but
Carne asada. I made
it
you
was
carne
the
asada.
only thing. It was Bruce. Literally, I'm not kidding you.
Pineapple
was
pizza.
It was the only thing I ate until it was gone. Every night that week,
Hey,
it was.
Bruce.
I opened the fridge, scooped whatever slop that was into a plate, heated up. My God, and it was simple. It was a simple dish, but man, was it good.
How did you make it? What is it? Hey, dial it back.
We heard
Come
something.
on,
hit
Madden,
the floor.
get your shit together.
Man down.
Holy cow!
The whole thing went.
Well,
Apparently, I didn't tighten
hey,
the little
how
knob.
do you kick somebody out?
It probably works better now.
Hey, so what did you make, Bruce? What was it?
I made carne asada.
So, what do you need for that?
English, meat
Excuse
and
me.
cheese.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
Well, if I'm going to come up
Yes.
and I'm going to get carried away with what I bring,
Yes.
I'll probably bring my truck with the trailer and the Jeep in tow. And if I'm going to do that, I might as well bring my flat top and my pizza oven.
There you go.
Well, the
So we can
beauty of
eat.
the Street Machine Nationals ends at 6 o'clock on Friday and Saturday. So, like, Back to the 50s goes until 11 o'clock. So we can be back here by, usually leave about 5. So we'd be back at the house around 6, hang out for the evening.
Oh, if I come up a day early, I could go
For those
jump.
of you that are viewing this,
You can
or
also go
listening to
jump.
this,
Oh, if I came up early, I could go jump.
Yep, out of an airplane, because Twin Cities skydiving is 1.5 miles from my house.
Oh, okay.
And
This
you
is
guys,
like-
if you guys come out a day early too, we can go skeet shooting while he's jumping, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I like that.
Wear your steel boots that have the steel plate on the bottom. You don't need a steel toe.
What kind of quality podcast can you get? I mean, this is a high quality podcast that we're doing here right now. This bonus content that's going to air next week live on YouTube and on Rumble and on other platforms that we have. Our bonus people are going to get it, like Duchess of New Jersey, who went to patreon.com/weathered soul, is going to get that here no more than what? It's 8:30 here. So she's going to get it like at 9:30 tonight, which is what, 12:30 her time. So she's going to laugh her ass off at 12:30 at night in New Jersey.
She's going to wake up to us.
She wakes up to me every morning.
Oh, how you doing? I'm waking up.
not in that way. Not in that way. But I mean, she wakes up and she does her little gym thing, and then she goes back home and gets her coffee. She jumps online, and we're on the Weathered View, which is
hey, what time is the Weathered View in the morning now?
The Weathered View is at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard
8 o'clock
Time.
our time.
That would be
it's at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
Sometimes I'm still. Sorry. Sometimes I've gone back to bed and I'm still sleeping.
Well, that's
I'm
what
back to bed.
people in South Dakota do. I mean,
I'm going to share something, you guys, just for everyone's information. Ready? Are we sharing? Can we see it? Here we go.
No,
I didn't think so. Why
You
would
gotta pull them down farther, Cam.
Let's see. All
sharing
right.
is caring. Come on.
All right. Well, I'm going to share a screen here in a minute when I got to open the page right, and then we'll do that.
That wasn't the porn page you had up, did you?
No, it wasn't.
No. I don't really want to know what kind of porn you look at, but
NorthStarRust.com.
Hey, they opened up the wharf again. They finally opened up the wharf that fell into the ocean.
Only dadbodfans.com.
That's right.
That's right. We do own that. So here it is, guys. Mark it down. You can't say you weren't warned. It's January, July 18th to 20th, 2025.
Here we go.
There it is.
There we go.
Hold on. I'm
Street
getting my
Machine
calendar.
I will be calling Christian on July 17th going, dude, I'm broke down somewhere in South Dakota. I don't know where I'm at.
Bruce,
Come get me.
all right, Bruce, true story. Join. I'll send you out a thing for it. I got the new line chaser. Join the Minnesota Street Rod Association. They have a listing of people across the country that'll help you if you're broken down.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, you'll have to send me that link for sure. But
Absolutely.
anybody who's listening, we're doing some bonus content for our second show for next week, and just letting you guys know that this is what we do when we don't have guests. We're just gonna get along. We're gonna talk about life, what we're doing, what's coming up in the old weather report and the weather view, and everybody else's business that's going on. We're actually talking about podcasting right now because we're trying to get our act together to give you guys a more quality show, something with more content, something with multiple cameras and disco balls and Rush.
Oh, we're gonna do that now.
Rush. That would be something that Duchess would. We don't want to see that. We don't.
You said disco balls. I will say this. Hey, we talked about, and I never say anything. You say, hey, what are you guys doing? What do you want to promote? I'm at a point now where beyond the laser stuff I'm working on, I've got a website for it. I'm just not ready yet. Because I got to do some stuff.
Is this the high energy lasers that explode cities in fire or what?
I'm not Dr. Evil. It's only like a 60 watt, so it's a CO2 laser. It's not a big deal. But if anybody is interested, I'm going to start offering my editing skills for video and audio. If anybody sees this and says, hey, I could use some help with that, let me know. I'll show you examples. I'm not going to mention where it's all sitting right now because it's work stuff, but we can work something out.
Cool.
We talk about mob cars quite a bit on the morning show and the View because we just have a lot of talk about mob cars, and I'm in season 5 of The Sopranos. So this mob car training, you need to learn how to drive like in a movie. And the Street Machine Nationals, of course, is a wonderful place to do that. So I'm gonna add this to the stage here right now and show you a little video called "Grandpa Crashes the Party Again" with his Roadmaster. Now I've had 5 Roadmasters, a Caprice, and a Fleetwood Cadillac, and this is what you can do with those cars if you're so inclined. I'm racing a Mustang and beating him on the autocross course.
There are many times in life where slow is fast.
Ken, you are a madman.
So as you can see, there's craziness that happens in those. Now that autocross course, I've run the Lincoln in it many times. I've run a 73 Galaxy 500 wagon in that, where when I was going around corners, the hubcaps would flying off. And the first day I went around, drove around, did it. The second day I ran around, and the guy, the announcer was sitting there, and he was going, yesterday, this son of a gun apparently knows how to throw these big cars around. He's throwing hubcaps. And when he said that, a hubcap flew off the car, no shit, rolled over to him and landed at his feet. And as I crossed the finish line, he came over and handed me the hubcap. It was like, you couldn't have even planned it better. So it's my favorite event of the year. It really is. It's so much fun to go to. So that's the kind of stuff that happens there. Controlled chaos, but it's also mob driving practice.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to coming out there and sharing some more time out there in the Midwest, where the sky falls down on you in the middle of the day. And
might I offer a wager here if anyone is up for it? I got $20 says I can beat Bruce's truck in the autocross.
I've got
it's easy.
$40 that says that you can.
His truck is so light in the ass end, he'll have trouble if he put anything. Bruce, what do you put in the motor?
Gas.
It's a 350
gasoline.
Well, wait,
Guys,
hold on. Is it a 350? Is it a 305? Is it a 400?
No, it's a 350. It's a 354 barrel. It gets about 9 miles a gallon. It's got a turbo 350, and yeah,
What
I'm
can
going
is
to
that,
be
man?
driving
it's
1997.
It's bone stock. It's bone stock.
Well, the problem is your ass end is so light. If you don't have good sticky tires, because Ken's car is so big and heavy, he can
It's not
really
heavy.
put his right foot in it.
That's where he's wrong. It's not heavy.
Ken, what are you racing?
The town car.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
4,000. It's
Okay.
4,000 pounds. It's not heavy. It's 18 feet long, and it's got 220 horsepower.
Yes, but your
and
weight distribution is
175,000
probably
miles.
pretty close to 50-50.
No, it's not even close. It's like 60-40.
Okay,
They
well,
weren't made.
Bruce's is 95-3, and that last 2 is rolling away from him as he goes.
Where'd the other 2 go?
It's just rolling away.
So Bruce, anyway, I'm throwing down the gauntlet.
Okay, I'll match your $20. I'll match your $20, and hopefully I'll be able to limp my truck home at the end of it with that. Well, actually, the truck's staying up there, so I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to fly home first class.
That's right. Bruce,
and
Bruce is leaving us the truck, Jason. So we get his truck for a year to do whatever we want with it.
We're going to go to Kenosha and go to Pepsi Hill.
You ever watch Monster Garage? He'll get it back. It'll be a lawnmower with a backhoe in it. Rainbow painted with
I'm trusting Ken.
big hair.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I'm trusting Ken.
Oh, famous last word.
It's gonna get a nice root beer brown freaking paint job from one of Ken's buddies, and we're gonna
call it the Bitcoin Express.
Speaking of Bitcoin,
is this a transitional moment?
Speaking of Bitcoin,
Holy shit, it's like we know what's going on here.
Because there's only actually, I think, 2 of us here that really like Bitcoin, and then
and only one of you showed up.
Actually, you have that wrong. Because Jason right up there, Jason, Jan Brady, he loves Bitcoin too. He's a Bitcoin aficionado. But I came across a video that I'd like to share with you, and we're going to stop this video because this is kind of an argument I want to get into. I'm trying to seed an episode here that we're going to have a special guest from Swan Bitcoin, which is the exchange that I buy my Bitcoin from. Now, Alex Dancic of Swan Bitcoin will be on this show in the future. And we're going to be talking about Bitcoin. We're going to be talking seriously about Bitcoin, about where it's going, what it's doing, where it came from, all this other stuff. But I don't know if you guys like JP Sears.
Absolutely. Guy's hilarious.
I love JP Sears. He's about one of the funniest guys in the world.
He's been great because watching his transition, he kind of started out as a comedian. He was pretty middle of the road, probably left leaning. As he did more and more of these, and the vitriol, because he was just kind of giving the shit to everybody, and the people from the left went after him. He started realizing, wait a minute, well, hold on, what? I'm just trying to have fun. He was so attacked. They drove him to be hyper conservative.
Oh,
it was fantastic, and he's always been funny, and he's always been. I mean, the guy has absolutely no self-respect, and at the same time, he's freaking built like a brick shithouse. The dude
is. He's
just
a total
ripped,
fitness nut.
Fitness nut, health, and just a super dude. So go ahead. I just want people might not have heard of him. He's had
Christian,
a transition.
You look like you had something to say before I start this up.
I may not be able to be on that episode given my daytime job. I work in financial services.
Got you. And what do you work for Mike Saylor or something, or what?
You can be the naysayer here.
I will be the naysayer.
He will be the naysayer. We will both be the naysayers because Bitcoin is useless.
Let's see.
Hey man, have you bought any Bitcoin yet? No, I'm not stupid. Bitcoin is like a giant pyramid scheme. It's like Amway for money. Doesn't make any sense based on my inability to comprehend new thoughts and ideas.
Yeah.
Have you bought any yet? No way! Bitcoin's way too volatile. Yeah, case in point. Did you know if you would have put $10,000 into Bitcoin back in 2010, that same $10,000 would now be worth $96,939,950. But that same $10,000 held in US currency since 2010 would now be worth $8,840 after adjusting for inflation.
See? But dude, I could take that $8,000 and go down and buy myself a 1974 fucking step side square body pickup. They can't do that with Bitcoin.
You can do that with Bitcoin.
How?
You just have to do it the right way.
And that's what they say. Oh, socialism just hasn't been done right. How do you buy it with Bitcoin? I want to come.
Trade it
I want
in for
to
USD.
go buy a truck from some guy in the country.
I'm sorry,
Let's get me a
Jason.
good deal. How do I do that in Bitcoin?
Hold on, Jason's talking.
Easy. What you do is you sell it. You sell it for USD, and then you take that USD and deposit it into your account, and then you buy it with cash.
Is that why that's written about you in the bathroom about the D? I was confused what the bathroom's message meant, but now I understand.
But
better.
again, it's still as an investment. I'm not doubting it as a money source. It still isn't. You can't just go use it until you can.
Finally,
Some places you can.
I got you to
But
admit
some
that
places you can do a lot of shit.
At least it's an investment vehicle to you. So at least I've got that into you. So
For that,
good.
it's good.
It's
For
not
that,
a
it's
fucking
good.
investment vehicle.
Christian,
It's
I'm
not a-
all
it's
ears. I'm all ears. I'm all ears.
Hey, listen, if you went to the casino and you were standing there at the roulette table
Mm.
when that big jiggly blonde walked up and said, "Hey, I want to bet on 36 black," and then she put all of her whatever, all the different chips on that spot, and you didn't, because while you enjoyed watching her walk up to the table, you didn't think she had a fucking chance, and then she won. You don't get to go back and say, "Oh, she's a fucking genius." She just happened to get fucking lucky.
Let's listen to more.
That proves Bitcoin's volatile. And volatile is a word that scares me because I don't have any testosterone in my body. I wouldn't buy Bitcoin even if I wanted to because I don't know how. What do you have to do? Like go on the internet to buy it or something? It's so stupid. I'm not going to do that. Nothing is worth doing if you have to learn how to do it. The price of Bitcoin might be going up exponentially, but that makes me insanely cautious about it for some reason. Well, yeah, that's not how money is supposed to work, right? Normal money is a store of value that continuously loses value. That's how it's supposed to be.
He's doing a great job with this. I'm going to give it to him. This is hilarious.
Christian.
I mean, there's plenty of comedy here. I run into people all the time with graduate level educations who are all keyed up for this, thinking, "Oh, I've got it all figured out." They can't hardly wander out of a wet paper bag on their own otherwise. And they figured out how to invest for their future and beat everybody at the market? I don't think so.
So you don't believe that Bitcoin is at no instance anywhere part of a diversification of any type of nest egg?
No, I think it's a really, really bad idea because guess what happens tomorrow?
What happens tomorrow?
Exactly, Bruce.
Dude, if the internet goes down tomorrow and all of a sudden all hell breaks loose and we have EMP and all the computers are taken,
You're starting to sound like my
down.
mom.
We've got
It's okay.
we have bigger problems than whether or not Bitcoin is going to be a viable source of any type of wealth.
Yeah.
So I see Bitcoin as when it first started years ago, I was very interested in it. I was like, "Oh, this is really cool. I should probably put some money into it," and I didn't. And I'm not bitter that I didn't. I wish that I had, just because of the exponential gains and the volatility. I don't give a shit about volatility because a lot of stuff's volatile. So here's the problem I have. As an investment strategy, to put a little bit of money in Bitcoin is a good idea. To have some in gold and silver and the other things and copper, whatever, and stocks, bonds, other things. It's just another. To me, it's just another thing as a form of. And this is where the Bitcoin people, Bruce, you're sort of included in this, but you seem to be more reasonable. The Bitcoin people just will not accept the fact of what I just said. And Jason proved my point. How do you pay for the truck in the middle of the country with Bitcoin? You don't. You cash
really
the Bitcoin out for money, and then you go, well, then it's no different than just going to my 401k.
At this point in time, yes, you are correct. You are absolutely 100% correct.
So at the point, so here's where you're going to be the smart guys. At the point of time where I can just go and use it just like I would my credit card or anything else, any other kind of money, you guys are going to seem like the smartest people on the block.
I don't think that's going to happen in my lifetime. I really don't.
Exactly my point. So I'm not interested.
Yeah, I don't think so. Let's listen to more.
I love fiat currency. Storing your value in US currency is like holding ice that melts away in your hand. And I say, good. I want the ice to melt because ice is too cold and not volatile at all. It just predictably melts away. You said it. And with Bitcoin, there's only a finite amount of it that will ever be in existence. And that kind of security is only going to hurt the long-term value of it. Precisely. And did you know 40% of all...
Pause. I don't believe that for a minute. There's only so much about it. It was invented by people, and people can make more of it. And so that's the hurdle I can't get over with Bitcoin is that there's only so much, and then there's never any more.
Christian? Don't blink.
You're giving people money, and they're giving you some numbers that works in software that tells you you have a certain value. There's no tangible, beyond the way your skin crinkles up and the hairs all stand on end, there's no other tangible effect to this whole thing. Now, is it possible this could work out? Yes. Just like the blonde who walked up to the table all jiggly, it could work out for you. But I'm going to say I'm a little skeptical. Because sometimes there's stuff going on that you don't know. Is it possible this is going to change to the bigger environment? Maybe. Like AI, there's a lot of things going on in the background that are very, 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 very complicated. With the whole AI thing, there's a certain amount of maturity that's required. It's going to grow up like a person does. And right now, AI is an infant. I can't wait until it's a hormone-fueled teenager, because that's going to be all kinds of fun. I think a lot of these cryptocurrencies, what's the one that was the guy and it ended up being a way to funnel cash and he's now in jail? What's that guy's name?
Oh,
Joe Biden.
Ross Ulbricht and Silk Road.
Is that who it was?
Who's going to get pardoned in what?
Sam Friedman.
Wait a second. There's more than one.
No, now Russ Ulbricht he invented Silk Road, which was a dark internet web portal. Let's just say
dark internet.
Yeah, dark internet.
That sounds spooky. What's the dark web, Bruce?
Spooky.
I say as if I don't know, and I'm leading you.
I don't know either because I've never traveled there. I've never traveled there.
The dark web is full of onion sites. That's all it is. It's onion.
Yeah,
those potatoes. I think they're growing potatoes.
But I tell you what. Here's one thing that I am certain of, is that they're not even trying to hide it anymore. Okay, so banks aren't even trying to hide it, that they are empty. They're empty. So when we talk about finances, when we talk about cash, we talk about fiat, when we talk about money, what right now, here's what I don't understand, Christian. Maybe you can clear this up for me. How in the fuck does debt back any type of currency?
Because George fucking Washington. That's why.
The promise that it will be repaid.
The promise of what? You're in debt. How's debt a promise?
The promise that it will be repaid.
I promised my bank that I would pay them for this house and my mortgage.
Paper. Hey, that's the fun thing about this. Here, you want to keep going? Here we go.
Yeah, let's keep going. Yeah.
You say that doesn't mean anything, but there's an actual. I don't have anything handy here. There's an actual stack of documents.
Yes, they're that thick too. They're that thick. Yeah.
And that stack of documents requires you to complete your side of the contract. And based on just a bunch of paper that you can hold in your hand, there is value in that paper.
In 1913,
car loan.
In 1913, in 1964, and in 1971, we essentially defaulted on our currency. Agree or disagree?
I don't know the references.
The references are that we went away from the gold and the silver backing to our cash.
Yeah, I think when Nixon pulled away from gold, I think that was not less than optimal.
Ken?
Yeah, the going away from the gold standard was absolutely asinine. Now, gold, silver, copper, I'm all about that. That's something that you can make happen. I can go in the country with a bag of silver and buy that truck. I can't do that. I can't do that with Bitcoin. Or I can take that silver, convert it into money, and buy that truck, just like you can with Bitcoin. Now, had I bought Bitcoin in 2014 and put $600 in there and had $3 million now to do it, well, then I would be laughing. That would have been a beautifully lucky, wonderful strategy.
You'd be the jiggly blonde, Ken.
I'd the jiggly blonde. So Bruce, the disagreement that you and I have is using it as currency. As an investment strategy, I think there's most depth. It's just like any other stock. It's like any other stock. In 1987,
can I jump in here for a second?
No. Let's do this quick story. 1987, I got rear-ended by a lady in town who had a beautiful white Jeep Grand Wagoneer. She hit my 71 Cutlass. She had a plow on it and did some damage. Turns out this lady was her husband had been a guy that worked at Reebok, and they paid him in stock. So he had 57,000 shares of Reebok in the early 80s. By 1987, those 57,000 shares were worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 million. She got lucky. He got lucky. It's no different. That's the way I see the Bitcoin thing. Eventually, the government's going to be able to control Bitcoin because they'll just tax the use of it at any kind of. They can do it. Yes, they can't go and take it. They can't find, but having it, they can tax. It's income. So all that goes out the window, and they're going to tax the shit out of it to make it so that one Bitcoin is $1 million, but they're going to tax that at 90%.
Go ahead, Christian.
I forget where I was going. Sorry.
It's what I do. I have this effect.
So the fact that Jason and I do agree about certain aspects of Bitcoin, and Jason think that it's valuable enough that he would sell me a tumbler for X amount of Bitcoin, and I agree to give him that X amount of Bitcoin via a app that I can use on my phone that doesn't have to go through the ACA or any other type of system other than the direct line between his invoice and my sending and satisfying that invoice is value between Jason and I. Now, is it the barter system? Yes, it's a barter system because he decides that he wants Bitcoin.
However,
Bruce, go ahead.
Jason is still on the hook for the sales tax on that.
That is correct. Yeah, that is correct. He takes on that responsibility.
Does the U.S. government take Bitcoin?
Yes.
For sales tax?
Yes.
They do. So you can pay your taxes in Bitcoin.
They actually want to know whether or not you have what they call KYC Bitcoin. Know your.
You're not. That's not the question I asked. The question I asked is, can
I pay
Bitcoin-
my taxes in Bitcoin?
Yes.
I do not know that. I don't know the answer to that question. I'm sorry.
Exactly, that's a question, because now if you can, now the government has made Bitcoin a currency.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
have
think
not.
you can pay it in Bitcoin. If they made it a currency, you could pay anything you needed to pay to the government in Bitcoin. I don't think you can. I don't know either, but for the sake of this argument, that's something that we should know.
Good. Let's have a laugh.
All US dollars in existence were printed in the last 12 months. And that's what makes regular currency so valuable, because they can print an unlimited amount of it, which makes the value of what you hold in that currency go up. Sure, why not? I concur. Inflation's never been higher, and you can't put a price on inflation. Our current administration that's causing inflation told us not to worry about inflation. Therefore, I do not worry about inflation. It feels good to behave the way they want us to behave for their advantage. Plus, CNN put out an article for dumb people about how inflation's a good thing for us. Dude, I loved that article.
He's right about every part of that. Spot on. Printing money, but those are two. This is two separate articles. This is two separate issues.
Why is it two separate issues?
Because the printing of money and the wasting of all that, it's been.
if you say
Here's
you say that the printing of money isn't any different than the possibility of Bitcoin being corrupted to make more Bitcoin after the 21 million.
No. I'm not conflating that.
Okay,
I'm
gotcha.
saying Bitcoin isn't money. He's saying the money system is flawed and messed up right now, and the printing of money is awful. I agree with that.
Okay,
100%.
gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Bitcoin isn't the answer, because you can't use it as money. You can convert it into money and then use the money. And if you were smart, you made a lot of money on the Bitcoin that you got, but you still didn't make a lot of Bitcoin on the Bitcoin you got.
Here's if I just there are a lot of times in life where we all get excited about a novelty. We find a thing that really gets us excited, whether it's Bitcoin or Jiggly Blonde. There are things in life that excite us. It could be a Gibson Sunburst from the 60s. It could be 1970. No, I want a 69. I don't like the sports side. I like the regular, but I want a short box. I'm going to take out the whatever is in there, 400, 350, and I'm going to put probably a Resto Mod it and put a 6.2 in it with a 6L90 behind it. Maybe even throw a supercharger on it. Put airbags in all four corners, because I want it my way. When you have a thing that is vague and it gives you the novelty fun, and there's a lot of kind of, hey, what's going on around here things, we can kind of make it into whatever we want it to be.
Jason, what do you think about this? You've been kind of quiet on this. I know you're not a huge advocate of Bitcoin, but you do accept it. And honestly, I would accept Bitcoin too. Someone wants to pay me in Bitcoin, I'll take it. I can do it through Venmo. But no one's ever offered.
Yeah, I looked up to see if you can pay your taxes in Bitcoin, and the IRS does not accept it, but the state of Colorado does.
Yeah. How much drugs do they sell in Colorado now?
A lot.
The good stuff.
But anyways, I do accept Bitcoin on my website. I'll throw a little bit of cash here and there, not a whole lot, but I'll throw a little bit of cash here and there towards cryptocurrency, just because it's like chump change.
Casino. It's the casino.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Hit the clutch, pump the brakes. Jason, what you're doing there is making a good choice. You're taking a thing you want to get into, and you're doing some of it. Fine. But throwing $10,000 for a lot of people when that happened, and now you'd have 93 million, that would have been a lot of money then.
Yeah.
I'm doing like maybe $5 or $10 a month.
Then so that's
just
a
fun.
very reasonable way to Diversify your investments.
DCA.
Dumb
Exactly.
cost attitude.
Averaging?
Huh?
Dollar
Dumb
cost
cost attitude.
averaging?
That's what you're doing if you're buying $10, $15 a freaking month.
Well, but the idea behind dollar cost averaging and what you're doing, he's taking and putting some into a novel thing he thinks might be interesting later.
Correct. That's
Dollar
exactly what
cost
I'm doing.
averaging is a way to
Exactly
put
what I'm
money
doing.
in so you're not affected
Exactly
by
what
highs
I'm
and
doing.
lows in the market.
You're reading into thinking that I'm using this as my retirement nest egg, and it's going to be the all exalted cash of the future. No, not at all. I have silver, I have gold, I have cash, I have investments other than that in the stock market. Go ahead, Jason.
The way I see with my small investing in Bitcoin, I see it as like playing the lottery, because it's a crapshoot. I may win, I may lose.
Same as the stock market. Same as
well,
the stock market.
Yeah, the stock market
Exactly
has
the same
some,
as
no, it's
exactly
not
the same.
exactly the same.
The stock market has a 150-year track record of generally
that.
going up.
Let's have a laugh.
Bruce,
And
I
a
appreciate. Oh,
Go
no,
ahead.
Play JP.
huge problem with Bitcoin is you can't trust it because it's not backed by our government. Whoa! I didn't know it was that bad. It
One thing I
is.
like
Why would
about
you not want a DMV level of intelligent design monopolizing the fate of the only currency you own? Exactly. And another huge flaw with Bitcoin is it's completely decentralized, which means it's missing all of its centralization. Right, so it's kind of like a dog that's been neutered. It's missing its testicles. So am I. Exactly.
So here's the deal, Bruce. I am willing to be taken to school on Bitcoin. I'm open to that. But nobody has been able to do that yet and have the argument. I'm not anti-Bitcoin, and when you talk about the way Jason's doing it, makes perfect sense. I agree with that completely. You've always been the presenter of Bitcoin like it is a bigger deal than it really is.
I use
And
it
that it
as-
can be used as currency, and you can use it as, well, yes, there's ways to do this and ways to do that, but I'm just saying it still isn't. You have to know a lot about it to do it.
There are ways to wire your truck so it doesn't burst into flames the next time you sit at a stoplight.
This is true.
This is true. Let's hope
So
I figure
I'm
that
not
out.
I'm not anti.
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I do. I believe me. I understand what you're saying, and I do kind of push it as being like, yes, at someday I would like to have a decentralized form of payment that I don't have to necessarily have the government involved in it or any bank involved in any transaction that I do, because it's nobody's fucking business, to tell you the truth. So
the problem isn't
with that said, is that you can look at this vehicle as a barter type of vehicle, as a barter type of currency. Let's just call it a currency for my sake. And this is being adopted by many countries around the world, especially in Central America right now, where even you said, Ken, that the that Central America is getting ready to just explode,
right,
in productivity. So
and Bitcoin will kill that.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
Because
What
people
happens in
can't
Central America as soon as money shows up? What happens? If you're in Central America and money shows up,
La
what
Bamba.
happens?
Well,
somebody runs up, grabs a bunch of it, and then kills people and leaves.
You can't grab Bitcoin though, because it's a better way of doing it. Because it's
you can if you've got this. If you can figure out Bruce's security codes, you can take his Bitcoin.
Good luck, because I threw it off the side of my boat. You'll never know.
It's called Password 2021.
Hey Bruce, what's the name of your dog? What's your dog's name, Bruce?
I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah,
see, now there's your answer. Now we know. I've got the name. Anyway.
Benji 14, really is a cute dog. Star.
It's not a 20 questions answer. Let's laugh some more.
Are you guys trying to figure out his
that runs on
passphrase?
Bitcoin. Oh, like the Lightning Network? Yeah, never heard of it. Me either. But I heard it can not only take the power of currency out of the hands of the corrupt centralized institutions and put it back in the hands of the people, but it can also empower us to do the same with taking back control of free speech and online communication. I think I'm completely unwilling to follow what you just said. Same. I blacked out for a minute. Plus, I think controlled speech is freer than free speech. Because when you're told what you can and cannot say, your mind is freer to think of other things that you also cannot say. And besides, if our government that's currently taking freedoms from us ever decides we need more freedoms, I'm sure they would just give some of the freedoms that they've already taken from us back to us. Well, if history's taught us anything. I have literally never learned a single thing from history. I can tell. And also never have the person whom is myself. Excellent use of the word whom, by the way.
So this is a great thing, because what they're talking about is they're talking around the problem. The problem is we don't need a new currency. We need to establish our currency back to have some sort of standard and be based on something and not be able to be printed all the time. So the invention of a new currency that someone can just decide it's going to be printed all the time again, the problem is the currency we have just needs to be fixed, and it can be fixed. I don't know that it will be.
Christian, how do you fix it?
Our currency currently?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a big problem. I couldn't give you. If you gave me another 10 years to figure out the answer, I could write one, but it would be messy and still pretty convoluted. Here's a question for you, Bruce. How much do you know about Bitcoin mining or crypto mining?
Bitcoin mining, I know enough about it to get in trouble. Crypto mining is a whole different other animal that I don't care to even get into, only because of the fact that so many people have been scammed. So many people have just been totally taken advantage of.
If you want to do crypto, fine. Doing 5% of your assets in crypto.
Are we talking crypto or Bitcoin? Because they're not the same.
How are they different?
Because crypto, in my sphere of Bitcoin, crypto is shitcoins. Those are ones that have been invented by a group of people that want to mine this in such a way to make a software that actually does this to power and invest in their particular projects. Okay. Now, whether that be a website, whether that be a browser, whether that be some type of laser, this or that, whatever it is, it has a group of people that control the price, whether it goes up or down, or whether it fails or doesn't. That's what that has been how so many people have gotten ruined, because of the fact that these exchanges that are able to present these to the people and have them buy them are just as guilty as the people that have created these. Now, Bitcoin, on the other hand, does not, you can't call the Bitcoin CEO. You can't call customer service for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a protocol that has been put down in a software development that was developed by Satoshi Nakamoto.
The building that John McClane jumped off of with the helicopters blew up?
I knew you were coming to that.
It's a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie. We watched it. It's a Christmas movie.
But no, that's what I know. And as far as Bitcoin mining is concerned, nobody has been able to match the type of algorithms or the type of math that it takes to mine these coins, these Bitcoins. The other ones are very simple to do. They're not very, excuse me, I'm not going to say they're very simple to do, but what I'm saying is the mining techniques are vastly different than it would be from regular Bitcoin. Who is that?
Is one of you about to be called? It's like Close Encounters of the Third Kind going on here.
There we go.
It was my fault, guys. I apologize.
Let's laugh at the rest
Do
of
one
us.
of you have a big
Thanks.
pile of mush or
I don't know why
mashed
most people
potatoes?
don't know how to use it correctly. Who knows? Do you think you'll ever buy Bitcoin? No, I'm much more committed to being wrong about it than I am to admitting I was wrong about it. I admire your dedication. Will you ever buy Bitcoin in the future? No. I think Bitcoiners are a bunch of freedom-minded conspiracy theorists whom, there it is, think it's better to be in control of their own prosperity and freedom than it is to have centralized authorities and systems be in control of their freedom and prosperity for them. Nut jobs. Oh, looks like Bitcoin just went even higher. I'm afraid of heights, so that sounds terrible. Was that a notification on your typewriter? Yeah, how's that even work? Looks like the US dollar dropped to an all-time low. But at least it's expected to drop even lower. Making history. What have you got planned for the rest of your day? Well, I'm gonna go wait for my next check from the government to arrive. The money from the last check they sent didn't go as far as the money from 2 checks ago they sent for some reason. Sounds like they should just print more money so they can send even more of it out. They are! Well, problem solved. I love how enslaved you are to the old system. Thank you.
He's great. I mean, he's fantastic, and I love his videos. I loved that one. It was great.
It was. Christian, I respect your opinions and your comments about Bitcoin. Those things won't change my mind until the fact that if I lose my shirt on Bitcoin, which, to tell you the truth, I invest in Bitcoin in a DCA mode, just like I do with my stock market, just like I do with a lot of other things with my silver, with my gold, with all my investments that I do. So it's been a trend that's treated me good. It'll be able to serve me well, hopefully, by the time I retire. But the fact of the matter is that the reason why I'm buying Bitcoin, and I'm going to tell you this is very much the truth. It's not for me, because look, if it does catch on, and it does do what they want it to do, then my daughter is probably going to be in a good place. Now, whether or not that happens or not, that's up in the air. But I mean, it's worth a couple of dollars on my end of the deal to make sure that she's taken care of well after the time that I die, whether that be in my real estate, whether that be in my gold, silver, 401ks, whatever investment vehicles I've got, it all goes to her anyway. So that's kind of where I'm at with the whole thing. So it's basically a part of my investment plan, and that could be good or bad. But it's also, I do hope that basically the world comes to its senses about how it creates and uses its fiat, because what's going on here with the currency that we have as far as the US dollar is concerned, it's hosed. We're done. We're going to have a huge crash, whether that be in Bitcoin, whether that be in the stock market, whether that be in real estate, whether that be in commodities. It doesn't matter. It's all going to be blown to hell, and one way or the other, eventually it's going to happen. I mean, we can sit there and we can say it, because basically, if you keep saying it, it's going to happen someday.
Then guns and liquor are all you need if that's your outlook, Bruce. Guns and liquor, Bitcoin, money, none of that matters. Guns and liquor is all you're going to need,
and that's what's going to be most valuable.
Guns and liquor in a members only jacket.
Yeah,
I had one of those. Do you still have it?
I never had one. I'm not that old.
See, I am.
I had many. I had many.
And Ken's had it.
So to tie this all together as a show, I found something.
There we go.
And if you had enough Bitcoin and it worked, you could go buy this.
Yes.
And what is this, you say? Well,
that's a station.
This is the story I just told you.
That's a Griswold mobile.
Those were the days.
I love that car already.
Clark's on his way to Wally World. Then he does a 16:0:21.
So
sweating like you can't believe. Those were the days.
Fantastic.
It was
How
a
about
thing.
It was a thing.
It
I
was a
remember
thing.
when. See, you're old enough. You're old enough to remember, Ken. I'm old enough to remember. I don't know if Jason's old enough to remember.
This is what I did with that car, though.
Remember what?
I made sure station wagon. Jason's old enough to remember. We're all old enough to that.
Okay, good enough.
So that was a cheap Ford. It was the Galaxy 500. It wasn't a Country Squire. It was a cheap one. So when you folded all the seats down, it was just metal back there, right? It was just metal, flat, 8 feet by 4 feet wide, metal. And so I waxed it all nice, and I put the softest, fluffiest, like comforter I could. And I told my son Tucker at the time, who was very young, I said, "Hey, sit Indian style in here and keep your hands, ready. We're gonna go for a little drive around the neighborhood." We were in Andover by your house, Christian. And I drove up and down the dirt road, whipping shitties side to side, kicking up dust. He's sliding back and forth everywhere, slamming on the brakes and then canning it. And he got the ride that you used to be able to do in a station wagon. And we all did it. All of our dads did that with us. You sit in the back of the wagon. I remember coming back, seeing how many of us could stand up on the way back from a birthday party in the back of a station wagon in the 70s. Those were the days. Bitcoin and fiat money do not even touch those memories. And so I try to bring those back to the youth of today.
There we go. Christian, I love where you're sitting at right now. Wish I could be there.
I'm just trying to relax on the beach here in Hawaii.
There you are. I'm just glad that you're not by your fireplace again.
Yeah, the fireplace is gone. Although I've got another one here. I guess I could if I wanted to.
Yeah. Bruce is near a fireplace.
I want to thank you
Or a
guys.
place of fire. I get them backwards. I'm a little
I
dyslexic.
want to thank you guys for being here and actually contributing to this bonus content, because like I said, we're always looking for guests for this show. So if you want to be a guest, go down and leave us a comment at comments@weatheredsoul.com or info@weatheredsoul.com. Those will all be in the show links down below. And if you like this podcast, you enjoy the content, go join our Patreon group. It's patreon.com/weathered soul. That's patreon.com/weathered soul. Also, we have an X space that we do every morning at 6 a.m. You can go on there, follow me at also known as TWS. That's at also known as TWS. And you can join us on our X View, which is called the Weathered View, where we get really loosey-goosey, and we have a lot of new characters that have come on, and it's kind of even more popular than this show, actually. So we're looking for more people to come in all the time. Please like, share, and subscribe. Yep. What is it? Share it with 4 people, around four of your friends.
Share it with 4 people that you like and 1 that you don't like.
There you go. There you go, Ken. See, he's got it. Ken's the marketing guy here, really. I mean, he really should be doing all of this, but it's my show, so that's what he tells me. So I got to do it myself. But go ahead, Ken. Go ahead and plug yourself.
Well, suppose we were looking at it as a traffic reporter. Well, it's 65 degrees here in sunny California, and we're going to look for the California fire is going to be coming back. Anyway, if you're looking for something as you build your new house, you're going to need some new artwork on the walls to replace the burned up artwork. And go to madcasestudios.com for all of your artwork needs. And in the meantime, you can buy one of the new Mad Case Studio coloring books at madcasestudio.com. And if you're looking for some swag, you might want to go check out over there at Horrible Designs.
Go, Jason.
Yeah. I'm Jason from Horrible Designs. I sell mugs, t-shirts, vinyl decals, 20-ounce skinny tumblers, shot glasses, drink koozies, drink coasters, mouse pads, magnets, and stickers. And I also have a lot of Ken's work on some of those things. You can find me at my website at horribledesigns.com. You can also find me at Amazon Handmade, Michael's Maker Place, eBay, Etsy, TikTok Shop for while it's still legal, and Walmart.com. And I also do work with custom orders as well.
Christian, you got anything last to say?
I will say this. If you've got a project, video or audio you're working on, and you want to talk to somebody about how to put it together, let me know. I've done a few here and there, and I can help you make sure at least you start out with a good foundation so it doesn't turn into a mess. I'm not
Where
going to
can
give
we
you
find you, Christian?
well, I'm not going to give you any contact information. I'm going to see how smart you are. See if you can find me.
And
Contact Horrible Designs, madkstudios.com, or the Weathered Soul broadcast for more information on Christian Reichs.
there we go. There
Marketing.
we go. And Christian, we also have a new website, right, that we're going to be developing here in the next year.
We're excited about this.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, Bruce, because given who we are, we're now soon going to be launching only dadbodsfans.com.
That's right. You're going to be able to get the full view of what a weathered soul really looks like.
The full view.
Strike a seductive pose.
I'll have to tell you this. There's going to, once that calendar comes out, there's going to be a lot of cucumbers being sold.
And with that, I'm going to leave you as I leave you every week. Thank you for coming in and viewing our show. We'll be back next week with a whole brand new show and hopefully a guest next time. So we'll see you next time here on the Weathered Report. We'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Be good to yourselves. We'll see you.